The paper we're diving into today is Education, Human Capital, and Ethiopia's Development Challenge, an academic analysis of classroom quality, economic growth, and human development, written by Dr. Arega W. Negusi.
It's a hefty but super thought-provoking read. Basically, Dr. Negusi is looking at this big disconnect in Ethiopia. The country's economy is growing, like headline-level GDP numbers. But, well, people on the ground aren't necessarily feeling that progress in their daily lives.
Yeah, and the big question he's wrestling with is, why does Ethiopia have all this economic growth but still scores really low on the Human Development Index? And more specifically, what role does education, or let's be honest, the lack of quality education, play in this whole mess?
I thought the way he broke it down was pretty clear. GDP growth. Ethiopia's got it in the bag. But HDI, Ethiopia sits at, 180 out of 193 on the global ranking? And education, out of the three HDI pieces, is by far the weakest link.
Yep, and he actually drills into the nitty-gritty of what's holding the education system back. So it's not just about how many kids are sitting in classrooms, but what kind of learning is actually happening. Overcrowded classes, underqualified teachers, way too much rote memorization, and honestly, a curriculum that doesn't really match what people need in their communities.
Right, like if you're in a rural area, maybe you need to know more about sustainable farming or how to run a local business, but the curriculum is kind of imported from other countries and not relevant? That blew my mind a bit.
And then there's the testing. He talks about how the whole system hinges on these big, high-stakes exams at the end of grade 12. Over 90% of students fail those. So you get funneled through years of school only to hit this wall. If you can't make it through that exam, there's basically, no path forward.
And the reforms the government is trying to roll out, they sound good on paper. Competency-based education, tailored tracks for vocational skills, even changes to language policy to promote mother tongue learning in early years. But implementation is running into some real walls. Mainly, they just don't have enough specialized teachers, and most schools, especially in rural areas, don't have the resources.
Totally. And actually, the urban-rural divide gets worse, not better, under these reforms. Big cities grab whatever trained staff are available, and everyone else just makes do.
And, it really feels so interconnected. Like, the kids who drop out early or fail these exams, they aren't getting skills for jobs, which feeds unemployment, which in turn fuels instability and even conflict. It's kind of a vicious cycle.
I know, it's a bit sobering. Makes you think about how behind every shiny macroeconomic number, there are, whole layers of lived realities. By the way, have you ever tried to learn statistics from a textbook in a language you barely understand? That part about language barriers hit home. I flamed out in college French, didn't even make it a semester.
Ha! Yeah, I still can't conjugate anything in Spanish. Anyway, the takeaway, at least for me, is that none of this is inevitable. Dr. Negusi isn't saying Ethiopia is stuck like this forever. He's saying that if policy can focus on, real classroom quality, adequately trained teachers, and making education line up with economic realities, there's a genuine path to turning growth into actual human development.
Exactly. And, it's such a reminder that research doesn't give us final answers. But if you're listening and you care about, say, how policy actually gets lived, this kind of analysis is worth paying attention to.
Couldn't have put it better. So, not just more education, but better education. That's the bridge between bright numbers and a bright future, right?
Right. I think on that note, we can wrap it up. Always good to remember, progress is more than just statistics. It's how people experience their lives.